So, thank you for giving this opportunity. I'm an architect basically. I have been doing engineering for most of my life. So, I come from pharma world, so we call ourselves pharma engineers. So, basically, I've been working in this domain, and basically, we have used different kinds of sandwich panels, which in pharma industry we call clean room panels, supposedly. So, style में clean room panels बोलते हैं. So, we have used all sorts of infill materials as we are speaking over here. There are lot of discussions happening about fire safety, performances, insulation, all of that. So, some of these will be captured in my presentation as well. So, basically, pharma and sandwich panels are kind of synonymous. We are using them for all sorts of clean room setup, whether it is for manufacturing facility or labs, R&D centers, or even warehouses. We are using them extensively. So, why sandwich panels? So, in pharma, basically, we have the sandwich panels are factory made. We can get lot of conduits, cutouts, everything made in the factory. So, this is slightly different from the sandwich panels which are actually bulk produced. So, they are custom made. So, we say like everything is detailed to the last bit, like all the cutouts, conduits, the risers, the return air risers, the light fittings properly. So, what we get at site are the completely prefabricated panels which are very easy to install, and in pharma industry it is loved because it's very thin, the thermal insulation, we need temperature control, we need humidity control, it performs very well from that perspective. And coming also, these are powder coated, so we need cleanable surfaces, we need sterility purpose, and it has a longer life, so that is why sandwich panels are preferred. So, in pharma, we are using it for external applications. You can see some of the pictures which the projects we have done, like then internal applications combined with epoxy flooring. It looks very nice on the shop floor. So, these are some of the projects, like this is a manufacturing corridor that you see. This is from project in Ahmedabad, and then we have used it for office space also. We get nice large view panels which can be custom made and pre-installed with the sandwich panels, and it gives vast visions for visual supervision which is required on the shop floor. Then we have cold rooms. This is the example for a warehouse building. We have used service area everywhere. So we just love sandwich panels for pharma construction. So like we were saying, like why sandwich panels are required. So it is easy to clean. That is the first requirement. It has air tightness, control environment, ensures the control environment. It is essential for quality control, contamination prevention, those kind of stuff. And it is approved from regulatory standards perspective. So this is a go-to material for us. So it complies with ISO 14644, CGMP standards, FDA standards, EMS standards, all of that. So we have the particles, the room should not be particle shading, so from that perspective it is ideal. So coming to safety aspect, I have an important, interesting case study to present here. Like few years ago, we had opportunity to inspect a fire affected facility in Bangladesh. So this is a picture of that facility. So it's a huge facility. It's a sterile facility. It has different kinds of lines for producing sterile products, which are basically your injections, your IV bags, eye drops, those kind of stuff. So it has about 10 lines. It is situated in a site of about 100 acres. It has multiple floors, about 4 to 5 floors. And it's one of the largest facilities in that area. So despite having a large area, it has a lot of issues with respect to it has motorability only on 2 sides of the plot. And then it has the structure that you see over here is basically, this is RCC structure. On the other side also is RCC structure. In between we have the manufacturing, which is a metal structure basically, steel structure. So when we inquired there, we got to know the fire was caused by the short circuit, and the fire was small. It could have been fought by the people there, but the panels that they had used there were puff panels. So upon the fire, it spread a little bit, and it generated a lot of toxic fumes and asphyxiating gases. So people just could not bear that. It had a lot of irritants. They had to fled from there. They fled to safety. Eventually, firefighters were called. By the time the fire was eventually controlled, it has caused a lot of damage. So, majorly seeing the concrete structure stayed intact without many major damage. However, the structure in between, which was a steel structure, there were a lot of damage to that. Basically, the beams were kind of melted. The columns were melted like a candle. If you see, there is a little bit of melting happening, and the structure was kind of not collapsed entirely, but it gave away. There was at least 1 meter sunk in the slab because of the damage. So this is just a summary of assessment that we did, and you can see the central part was severely damaged, whereas the other parts were not damaged that much. So we need to see whether these are some of the pictures from the same inspection. You can see the heavily damaged structure. So this is the column that I was talking about. Like it has melted, and even for us to inspect, they had made temporary support provisions so that it does not fall off. It was such a dire situation. So more than the asset loss, the property loss. What the loss is, this project was supposed to get a US FDA approval in a 1 month or 2 months time. They're working on it for almost 2 to 3 years. And it had to come crashing down to this. Now they lost, now they need to rebuild it. It will take another 2 to 3 years. And then the paperwork itself for US FDA approval takes another 2 to 3 years. So there was a business loss for 6 years almost completely, apart from the property loss. So my recommendation is let's try to phase out the puff panels. I know there was a figure presented that it's about 50%, but I don't think that's the, we can debate, but I feel that's much higher, especially in the global south. I'm not talking about it in India. It could be South Asia. We have done projects all across South Asia, even the African continent, Southeast Asian nations. Everywhere, puff is the material of infill, material of choice for pharma facilities because of cost compulsions, obviously. So as an industry, we need to educate, as kind of involve the user, make him aware what dangers it poses and what are the alternatives available. Whereas if you use it with the right infills, sandwich panels are a good material. It can have good fire resistance with mineral wool. There are a lot of manufacturers who give you 2-hour fire certificate for those kind of stuff. It is airtight and moisture resistant, so we have not come across any other material which is as good in terms of airtightness and moisture resistance. Also, like in pharma, we need to have really neat and clean surfaces, which is easily cleanable, maintainable, which can withstand the solvents or chemicals we use for cleaning or sanitization. So it works well from that perspective. Now coming to the value that it brings in. So it's a misconception actually that the sandwich panels are costlier as compared to other masonry structures, traditional partition walls like masonry or even for drywall partitions. Because you need to construct the masonry, you need to do the plastering, you need to do the painting, and then frequent uh, repairs or repainting has to be done. So comparing the life cycle cost, it has much better value compared to the traditional construction things. Plus, it is very thin, it's lightweight. So from structural consideration, your dead load goes down. The building can be designed in a more cost-efficient way. You can use less concrete, less steel to make it good. Then, of course, superior thermal, acoustic, and moisture resistance works well for it. So many panels can be sustainable materials because we can reprocess, reuse the metal part of it. Uh, Also, in the kind of setup that we do, we need a lot of flexibility because we take in one equipment today, we want to take it out tomorrow and bring in another material. So it's very important to have some sort of flexibility. And sandwich panels bring us that kind of flexibility. Plus, there are indirect advantages like because of better insulation, the air conditioning load is much lesser. We can have better, we can reduce the energy cost. The prefabrication or the site manufacturing allows faster assembly at site. We want to get the projects up and running very fast. And lower maintenance is very important because we need shutdowns to maintain them, do painting and all those kind of stuff which used to happen long back. So those things are avoided now. Coming to future trends, some of us were discussing about the clean room industry, especially the clean room industry is undergoing a massive transformation right now. We have, with the arrival of semiconductors, electronics, the battery facilities, so a lot of new technologies coming in. So now we have panels which are basically made out of aluminum, aluminum sheets, and then aluminum honeycombs. They are going in there. So those are basically required for semiconductor applications. And they're also kind of finished with ESD coating for static dissipation. So, so industry is basically moving towards highly customized and these kind of structures where basically the airflow is very important for higher grades of classification in the HVAC system. So that's what is happening, and a lot of new projects which are basically, these semiconductor projects are massive. They're not smaller projects like 100 crore, 200 crore. They are, one job order is 1,000 crores or something like that. So that is the future trend which is going on. So it's a very good sign for sandwich panel industry as such in terms of business or the volumes. So with that, I think my presentation is done. I just want to request that there is huge potential of sandwich panel industry, not just the things what we are discussing. A lot of new industries are coming up, which is basically clean tech, we say, clean tech industries. So increasingly, people want the manufacturing to move to a clean area. So even generally, the products like food beverage industries, the manufacturing used to happen in hygiene zones. Now they want to clean room. So there's a lot of potential there, and with the coming up of these new sectors like semiconductors, high purity chemicals, there's a lot of scope. So let's try to grab them. At the same time, educate about the ills or the perils of the polymer-based infills. So maybe later on we can discuss in a better forum. That's my request and suggestion. Thank you so much.